Let's start off with a question. What are the chances that every piece of gear that we ever work with, we're going to be physically next to? And the answer is, Keith, probably not the case. We have data centers and cloud services and stuff all around the planet that we're going to be working with. So remote management, the ability to remotely connect to that device, is really important. One way, a primary way of connecting to a Cisco device is through one of its logical VTY lines. And that's what we're going to discuss in this nugget. So let's continue to leverage this topology that we used in the previous two videos. And thus with this router, we have PC 0 that's connected to the console port, laptop 0 that's connected to the auxiliary port, and here connected, let's do a show users just to verify where I'm connected from. So currently with this asterisk, I'm currently connected from PC 0 to the router's console 0. Fantastic. So if we do a show run and then hit the spacebar a few times to go all the way to the bottom, here are the defaults for the VTY lines. Let's talk about those for a minute. What this means is that there are 5 logical virtual VTY lines. They are line 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 for a total of 5. And so when it says line space VTY space 0 space 4, that's referring to the range of 0 all the way through 4. And regarding their default configuration, there's a keyword there that says login. What that means is that if somebody connects to this router via IP and they're using a terminal emulator with SSH, secure shell, or the less secure telnet, either way, when they connect, they're logically going to connect to one of these VTY lines that are in place, and they are going to be required to supply a password. That's what the login keyword means. It means login is required. Now, the problem by default is that there is no password. It's not specified. So by default, anybody trying to SSH or telnet into this router is going to be denied access because there's no password specified. So here's what I propose we do. Let's give this router, and I'm looking at this router, I'm thinking this router doesn't even have any Ethernet interfaces. Let's fix that. Let's go ahead and connect router 0 to a switch, and then let's call it a switch, and then we'll connect PC 0 to that switch. We'll use VLAN 1 because that's what all the ports are in by default. So for our topology, let's go ahead and add a switch. So I'm going to click on network devices down here, and then just click on the switch icon, and I'll grab a 2960 switch and bring it up. Ta-da! There it is. And then we'll click on the connector tool right here, and we'll just use the automatic connector and go from router 0 to the switch, the automatic connector tool again, go from the PC to the switch, and there they go. Also, because we're done with the auxiliary port, we can probably click on the delete tool right here and just delete the laptop because we're not going to use it anymore. Then I'll go back to the select tool. So the switch doesn't need any configuration, but the router on its gig 00 interface will, and also the PC will need an IP address as well. So on the router on gig 00, let's use the IP address of 10.0.0.1. I'm going to make it real simple. With an 8-bit mask, it'll have me typing in 255s less. And for the PC, we'll just do 10.0.0.2 with an 8-bit mask. So let's go ahead and configure. In fact, on the PC, we still have the console port open, so we can do it right from the PC if we'd like. So config T, interface gig 0/0, bring that bad boy up with a no shutdown, great. And then an IP address of 10.0.0.1 with an 8-bit mask, and it is done. Let's go configure the PC to be at .2. So we're here at the PC, so we'll click on the config tab for the PC, go to fast Ethernet 0, and say we want to use 10.0.0.2, and then click here, and the mask of 8 bits, that's great, and that's done. So if we go back to our desktop, let me close my terminal here and just verify my IP information on the PC. We'll do an IP config, and 10.0.0.2, let's do a quick ping out to 10.0.0.1, boom, just to verify we have connectivity, and we do. And let's go and do a telnet to 10.0.0.1, press enter, and ganked. So it tried to telnet, but the connection was closed from the router because there was no password specified. We could also do this. We could close the command prompt here on the PC, and on the desktop tab, we could scroll down the PC to telnet/SSH client, and then specify here that we want to try telnet. And then from here, put in 10.0.0.1, click on connect, and that also is going to fail. Yep, keeps failing. So I'll close that window. And the reason for that, let me go ahead and close my SSH telnet session there and go back to terminal and click OK to go back to the console port. The reason for that is this bad boy right here. We have a login required on VTY 0 through 4, all 5 VTY lines, but there's no password specified. So let's fix that. We'll do a config T, we'll go into line VTY 0 space 4 because we're not sure which VTY line we're going to connect to, so we're going to configure all of them, the whole range, and we'll say password, and the password we're going to use, which I'm going to write down, is VTY PW in lowercase. VTY PW, press enter, and now if we do a show run, so now we have passwords and login required on line console 0, line auxiliary 0, and our 5 VTY lines of 0 through 4. So if we try this again, we'll go ahead and close our terminal session here, and we'll go back to the command prompt. And now from the PC, if we try an up arrow and do a telnet to 10001 and press enter, now it's asking us for the password, which was VTYPW. Press enter, and ta-da! We're in. So now we're in user mode. We do show privilege. So we're at privilege level 1. And if we type in enable and press enter, it's now asking for the enable secret, which was SECRETPW. Press enter. I thought it was secret PW. Let me try it again. Nope. Nope, it wasn't. Oh my gosh. What was the enable secret? We just said it like 1 or 2 videos ago. I thought for sure it was secret PW. I just failed out of my 3rd attempt. Enable. And I'm going to go look at my other video to see what that password was. And oh my gosh, I just brought up the video that we did previously. Check this out. This is such a scream. When I was demonstrating pasting in this for the encrypted enable secret, I typed in enable secret space and then I pasted the whole thing, not just this part right here. So currently the enable secret is enable space secret space 5 space this long string. That is our enable secret. Oh my gosh. So I've got to type this whole thing in to get into privilege mode, which I'm going to manually do right now. Oh my gosh. That reminds me of one of my labs for either route switch or security. In one of them, I totally just mangled something. I had to do password recovery on the device to get back up and going. It wasn't very fun, but I did pass the lab, so that's good news. Anyway, what we get to do right now is I'm going to go reset the password to something that's easier to type, specifically secret PW, which is what I wanted that password for the enable secret to be. Let's do that now. So that was a fun little exercise. Let's go ahead and change it back. Enable secret, and we want it to be SECRETPW. Press enter. Fantastic. I'm going to do a copy run start, which abbreviated by WR, and we've just saved our config. So now we've got our line VTY 0 through 4 with the password to get in, and let's go ahead and type in exit, and let's just go in one more time. Telnet to 10001. Password for telnet access is VTYPW. Enable, and that password is now going to be SECRETPW. Press enter. That works, and we are good to go. In this video, we had a little bonus session called Watch Keith Try to Get Back into Privilege Mode. Thanks for joining me for that. I think I'm going to leave that in so you can get a look and feel of real world stuff. I mean, things that we're not expecting to happen sometimes happen, and we need to work through them. That's half the job of being an IT person. So in this video, we've taken a look at the default behavior for the 5 VTY lines, VTY 0 through 4. We identified that there's a login required. It's there in the config, but there's no password set. So once we have a password set on the VTY lines, we can then connect to one of those VTY lines, supply the password, and get remote access for management to the CLI on that router. So thanks for joining me in this video. I hope this has been informative for you, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.